This is a reading video for Noragami Season 1, Episode 10, 11, and 12, the final 3 episodes of Season 1. Next week, moving on to Season 2, which we will get to in due time. Click in the link in the description below to go watch my reaction, and then come back here to submit full thoughts, ideas, and theories about these episodes and my overall kind of thoughts and ideas about Season 1 in its entirety, and so on and so forth. So click away now, or be spoiled as to what happened in these episodes. Okay, so joining me as always is Try. Or not, I guess, as always, but Try's here with us. So we're going to talk about, Rip last week. So we're going to talk about basically the finale and my thoughts on it and so on and so forth. I liked it. It was a really good finale. Overall, we've slowly but surely have sort of became aware of this kind of like, masked figure kind of thing, like in the shadows kind of thing, like with Nora, or Nora, yeah. So it's interesting to see the progression of his like reveal kind of thing, because it wasn't like immediate like bam, it's this guy kind of thing, like this is what he does. Like there was a lot of like, in my mind anyways, there's a lot of bits where I'm like, who could he be? Could he be another god? Could he be another weapon? Could there's a lot there that was like kind of unsure, because nobody else was mentioning about this masked man guy kind of thing. They just kept they always referred to or talked to Nora basically. So having them having that the god Calamity, the guy who was there with the mask and everything, having him like appear was sort of weird that like no other gods referenced him or whatever like that. But I guess it's because he's been dormant for so long that they kind of forgot about him. But I guess that's the whole reason behind his state at the very end of episode 12 was when he started disintegrating. Is because the world kind of forgot about him. They don't even remember who he is anymore. His shrine's like decrepit and dismayed, and this all the wishes and everything that was like written on the wall have all been scratched out as completed, and like he was saying, so on and so forth. And then Yato goes and uses Yuki to literally just cut the tree in half, which was awesome. I thought originally, I said it in my reaction, but I thought it originally was just like the ribbon around the tree. But then like after the ribbon was cut and like he was like down for the count and he was like dying, the tree like all of a sudden shifted. It's just like, oh damn. Like he cut a lot more than just the ribbon. I'm surprised Yuki was. It seemed like he was able to just cut like the darkness out of him in a way. The phantoms that was like possessing him, or whatever in that state. I'm not really sure. It wasn't really possessing him, but it was like he allowed the phantoms to go into his body and supercharge him, power him up, something like that. Like be able to control them in some certain way, kind of thing like that. But Yuki was able to actually like sever it. It seemed like he was able to like cut like right through the masked man, cutting the tree as like in the distance kind of thing, but in the like right in front of them, he just like cut right through the darkness, I guess, like within him kind of thing, only affecting the phantoms, no like flesh or anything, which was really cool. I guess he's just that sharp. He's able to like cut anything. like we saw that once before. Was it last episode? It was like the first batch of episodes where we saw him. We saw Yato use him to cut, and he overdid it. Like he cut too much. Like he cut like. I think that was the first batch. Yeah, it was with the train. He cut the phantom, but the slice just continued onward past the phantom, nearly cutting one of the pedestrians are like sitting there, like about to walk into the train tracks. Was that was the one, right? Yeah, it was like they were getting like coerced to like you should kill yourself, and he was like kind of walking towards the train tracks, and then that's when they intervened. Um, there's like two of them, I guess. Two phantoms. There's one on the guy's shoulder, and then the big hand thing or whatever. Anyways, but it was really cool to see Yuki actually use his like super sharpness like ability, if you want to call it ability. Um, it just seems like that's just him. He's just super sharp for some reason. Like either it's just like he's so pure of heart that it literally cuts through the darkness, um, or something along the lines of like his pure of heart turns into like a sharper blade kind of thing is sort of what I can see what they're going for there. Um, but I bet there's more to his character that we haven't even realized yet, kind of thing. Because Yato picked him for a reason and really wanted to die to help him understand his mistakes and so on and so forth from last batch when he got corrupted and so on and so forth. So Yato was like literally going to die for him, kind of thing, for some reason, sort of thing. He said he kept wanting to reforge him to make him stronger and so on and so forth. So I'm not sure if even Yato knows like the full extent of Yuki's strength in terms of like his powers and such. It seemed like Nora was a samurai sword, but also like the ability to like control water. Like I'm not sure if that was Nora's power or if that was the masked man's like additional gift sort of thing. Um, I'm assuming it was Nora's or Nora. I forget sometimes like they rule the R with when they're saying her name or her title. I guess it's not her name, but like because she's got like a billion names on her. Um, you don't need to roll it. Okay, so Nora. All right, sweet. I just when they say her name, they always roll the R, so that's why I was uh, thinking I had to. So uh, I'm assuming that was her power. Um, was with the whole water thing and everything. So if Nora has that gift, along with being a samurai sword kind of thing, then Yuki should have a sort of gift. If just like super cut is like his ability. It's like RPG how they have like cut and then there's like deep cut. It's like two abilities kind of thing. Um, so maybe Yuki is just like super ridiculously sharp, but he can only use it in certain situations. Um, for whatever reason, whatever. But Nora was able to like manipulate water and everything. And Bashaman was chasing out to the last set. Kazuma, the earring, scanned him and said, "Abilities unknown." Ah, okay. I do remember that actually. Okay, yeah. So I guess it's just more character development we haven't got to yet. Basically, they've done really well with the characters in this show. I really liked how they are doing it so far. Like having Yato kind of be this kind of well at first kind of like a silly god, kind of thing, like trying to make his way in life, afterlife, whatever, by helping people and so on and so forth. And then over the course of the entire season, slowly learn that he's a calamity god, and he used to be a bad guy, and or not a bad guy, but a dark god in a way where he helped people with dark wishes fulfill their wishes and so on and so forth, like killing people and so on and so forth. Even teaming up with the masked guy. So it's interesting how they kind of slowly kind of brought that out, which is really cool. Same with like Yuki in some way, because he had a lot of character development, and him kind of being new to all this, kid and so on and so forth, and then going through the whole stages of like that kind of like rebellious stage or something like that, where he was like, stinging Yato because of all this stuff, kind of stuff that he wanted to kind of rebel against because he still thinks he's human and all this kind of like doubt in his mind and so on and so forth. So all of that manifested into him being corrupted and so on and so forth. And then like learned that he actually had phantoms on his back, like probably whispering into his ear, without him knowing or whatever. Probably did a lot to him as well. But like the whole development with his character was really really cool. And like all the characters we've known about, the one sword, the short haired uh, girl from the Mayu is her name now, but like she used to be called Yumena, Yumana, Yumana, something like that. Uh, Tobani. Oh, there's a T there. Tomani. Yes. So that was her. That was Yato's name for her. But then she gave it up because she wanted to go away from Yato, and then she got her new name, which is Mayu. So having her as well as the other god and her regalia, helping out with the whole Yuki situation, as well as the one the what was his the earring effectively, right? He's the earring, right? The one it's is it Bishamona? Bishamon? Bishamon? The guy with the earring? Is that's an earring or is he a different weapon? Kazuma? Okay, Kazuma's earring. Sorry. I'm just kind of trying to think of his name, and I'm like reading like past messages because I knew you said it there. But sorry. But uh, yeah. So having those kind of side characters actually have a little bit of like character development, um, with helping Yuki and everything, with like purifying him and so on and so forth. That was a really cool scene as well. And even knowing the fact that like if it went wrong at all, like in any situation in that whole purification process, all three of the ones that were in like there like could have died or whatever. So they actually put their lives on the line to actually effectively help Yuki out, and in a sense Yato as well, because Yato was getting poisoned by Yuki's like hatred and so on and so forth. Um, Kazuma says he owes Yato. I'm assuming. I'm assuming it was something to do with the past, of course. Obviously, the past. we haven't known too much of Yato's past too much, other than like he was a god of calamity and so on and so forth. But we know he killed a regalia. I'm assuming it was. I'm sure it was said, right? It was one of Bisha's regalias. Was it one of hers? I believe it was. Yeah. They never said who or what it was or so on and so forth. They just said that like killed the regalia, and then later saying it was like it was one of her regalias. So I'm I'm assuming it has something to do with that. Maybe that like he owes Yato because of that. Maybe the regalia was. I'm like this is a theory, obviously. But I'm assuming it would be cool if this regalia that was like that Yato killed was maybe be stinging Bisha just like Yuki was, um, and maybe Yato kind of helped it by killing the regalia before it got too bad, or when it was getting bad, kind of thing. Maybe killed the regalia, and that's why Kazuma is saying like I owe you because it saved the god kind of thing, the goddess, um, or Bisha, whatever. So I'm assuming something like that. I mean that's my theory. I mean it's a cool theory. So that's it's like because he helped with the Yuki situation. Maybe it was like something happened with him as well. That's kind of like where my theory was leading to, kind of thing in a way. Um, or maybe Kazuma was jealous and wanted that person's spot. That too as well. Yeah, it could be. I mean, because we know Bisha has like 6 or 7. I think she has 6, right? Oh, it was weird. Like we saw her pull out. I think it was 6 or 7, and then like the next scene or the next time we saw her in the last batch, she had like one less. It seemed like, um, because I'm pretty sure we saw like the lion and the weapons, the clothes, and so on and so forth, like the eye, I think, or the earring or whatever it was. But then like the next scene we saw when she pulled out all of them once again, like it looked like there was one short, like it wasn't all of them, kind of thing. Um, oh, 8. Damn. Let me help you out here, okay? From left to right. All right. I believe the far left one is the lion, right? Yeah, so she pulled them all out like in one instance to kind of go out and okay, so lion, whip, sword, earring, clothes, gun 1, gun 2, and knife. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Gun 1 and gun 2 are like the little kids. I wonder if they're like twins or brother sister sort of thing. That's interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of good characters in this show. I'm interested to see like if we ever get like background on any of these regalias. It seems like the only regalia we know about or have been getting background for is, I guess, a bit of Yuki in a way. Well, I guess in some instances the background doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter how they died. It doesn't matter anything like that. Like literally at all. It doesn't. Nothing matters about their human life. Like what matters is like their phantom life. Like their afterlife sort of stuff. So I guess it doesn't really matter what the background it is, but it would be interesting about the gun 1 and gun 2 of Bish's regalias if they were like brother sister kind of thing. I don't know. they just look the same age kind of thing, like twins. Um, but yeah, so she pulled them all out and had them side by side, so on and so forth. And then like a scene later, we had she pulled him out once more to talk to him again, but it seemed like there was like 1 or 2 like missing, or like I would assume just one missing or something like that. So I was kind of interested about that, um, but yeah, just all the characters in the show are very like pretty in depth, like with their kind of background and why they're doing certain things, and they actually have motive to actually do a lot of things. But like for instance, Bisha, her main goal is to just literally hunt phantoms and clear up or balance the world effectively. That's like her sole mission, I guess, and as a god. Um, we haven't seen. Never mind. We have. I was gonna say we haven't seen her shrine, but of course we have. She bathes in it. That's like her shrine. I'm guessing it is. Anyways. But we haven't really seen the old man fight like with his regalias. We've kind of seen like a bit of his regalias, but not like. I'm not sure if he does. I'm not sure if the old man does the same thing as Bishop does. Um, he's not. He's a lover. I guess. But if he did go to battle, I'm wondering what all of his regalias turn into to help him out in battle. So like it's like Bishop has like the whip, sword, clothing, earrings, so on and so forth. I'm wondering what the old man has. Like, does he have like swords and like like outfit as well, and like is he decked out as well, or is it just Bishop who does all of that? And does the old man can like hot swap between regalias depending on the situation? um I didn't entirely notice this. Yes. What was her name again? Mayu. Yes, Mayu. That is true. Interesting. I was thinking about that too as well. Um, like having the regalias change depending on the owner and name effectively. I wonder if the name does have effect on it. Um, that the god gives them basically. Because if so, if the name has something to do with the regalia's type of like transformation kind of thing, Nora should change every single time someone else uses her. Like she will not be a samurai sword anymore, basically, because the masked man used her as a samurai sword. So Nora will probably be something different next time we see her. They gotta find out which name is the most OP and name every yeah, like at this point, they're just kind of shooting in the dark. They're like, "All right, your name's going to be Yuki," and it's just like seeing how it comes out to be, basically. But Yuki's pretty sharp, like literally, like he's very sharp. So maybe Yuki is like the OP name, kind of thing. So I don't know, but yeah, going back to it, all the characters are really good. Like they all have like depth and so on and so forth. So I'm hoping season two kind of pushes that basically, like goes more in depth with the characters and has like character arcs and so on and so forth, kind of strengthen the bond and everything like that. Like and the whole stuff with Hiyori and everything, like her losing her memories and then like slowly but surely losing her memories over time, like forgetting Yato but keeping Yuki in her memories, and then later losing Yuki, and then just being back to nobody kind of thing, but having like a picture book kind of to help her out. That whole development kind of thing was really interesting. I love the fact that when she was walking to, I think she was going to school or something like that. When Yato and Yuki came to say like, we're gonna fix you kind of thing, and then like they were gonna teleport away. Or during that kind of thing, I guess. Yeah, that was when Hiyori started like crying, but she didn't know why she was crying, kind of thing. Her memories were kind of like just kind of there in the back of her mind, but she kind of accessed them. She doesn't know why she's crying, but she's just crying. And then when they teleported away, she instinctly like jumped and like went into her cat form, or even whatever to call it, phantom mode, and or half phantom mode, I guess in this case, but jumped into that form and then grabbed his shoulder to teleport with him, kind of thing, instinctively. And afterwards, she didn't know why she did it, kind of thing. So there was like little bits of memory in the back of her mind, like saying like you need to go with him, just go with them, kind of thing. So like the instinct just to jump and do it. Um, that was pretty cool. And then the whole scene afterwards too, of her like effectively like dying in a way, but then remembering the smell of Yato, and that like brought all the memories back and everything. That was pretty cool. Didn't know that the voice actor for Yukine also voices Soul in Soul Eater. Really? Guess you can't graduate from voices weapons. Yeah, it's just like who what was that? What other voice actors that we've seen in the past on in like dub shows and everything always voice like a certain type of character, right? Like um shoot, I'm trying to think of like some example kind of thing, but I can't off the top of my head. There has been um correlations to voice actors playing a part. Like they're really good at playing a part, kind of thing. So the from Fairy Tale, the one blonde card kid, um that kid voices a lot of characters in a lot of different shows that I've seen. One of which being from the New World. Yeah, his name is Sho in or Shu Show 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 in Fairy Tale. But that voice actor who plays him, he does a lot of different voices and everything like that, but he always plays like the kid, kind of thing, because that's his voice. But I think I've seen a picture of him, and he's like he's like an older guy kind of thing. It's pretty awesome. Um, yeah, Excalibur is great. So it is really interesting that like certain characters, or sorry, certain voice actors do kind of in the same way that like actors do, like in Hollywood and everything. They always play like a certain type of character. Like some actors are very good at being the bad guy, kind of thing like that, or like the hero, or something like that. They always have like certain like themes they always stick with whenever doing jobs. And voice actors seem like, or actors and actresses always seem to have like that kind of stuff as well, kind of thing. So it is pretty interesting that he's again voicing a weapon in a show, kind of thing, which is really interesting. Um, Excuse me. So what else? I mean, yeah, it was really cool to see Yukine remember Yato, um, uh, having not you, not Yukine. I just instinctively said Yukine. No, Hiyori, having her remember Yato, or just based on smell and everything. See, okay, the smell thing, is that just being like a phantom thing? That like she has like this incredible smell kind of thing because she's a half phantom? Because like we've seen other phantoms like talk about smell as well, and they've always mentioned it around Yato. Yato's always had this kind of like a good smell about him that even all other phantoms always say that as well. I think it improves her senses. Okay. Um. So I guess Yato is just like yeah, very very smell good person. I don't know. I wonder if it's because he's a god of calamity, and the phantoms are effectively chaos in a way, kind of thing. So he's the god of chaos, kind of in a sense. So maybe that's why they're like, he smells good, kind of thing. Because he's like effectively like the god of death. He brings upon death. He makes phantoms effectively. Um, I'm assuming. Um, no, it's the fluffy scarf. that's that's funny. I liked how I actually did like how he gave up that scarf to put on her hand, and then that's when he went all out. Like he was back to like killing kind of thing. It reminded me a lot of Natsu in that sense. How it was just like, well, I guess like Natsu don't really kill anybody without a scarf, but the whole scarf thing kind of reminded me of Natsu a lot. But yeah, so Yato giving up his scarf and everything, and then going absolutely ham on the mask guy was awesome. Like him just like one hit kind of thing, and it just knocked him across like the valley or wherever they were into a mountain was just so awesome. And then like the whole battle between them and everything. Um, it was really really cool to see that. At first I thought the storm was kind of happening above them because of the fact that two gods of calamity were fighting each other, kind of like two gods clashing caused a big uproar in like the phantom swarm and so on and so forth. That was my original thought going through like these episodes, but it turns out it was just the masked guy. He was kind of stirring it up, kind of thing, and I guess commanding them, kind of thing. But I guess maybe it could be both. I guess, but that's kind of like I guess what one of the gods was mentioning, or he did. One of those, one it was somebody mentioned it in the show that like it was him or whatever. It was one god of calamity, kind of thing. I guess it could have been both because I guess the gods didn't know that it was two gods of calamity. All right, what's important? Rabo isn't real. He's a filler character. The mask guy? Weird. That he does not seem like a filler character. He seemed like pretty in depth. Entire season 1 ending was fake. I liked it. I did. It was cool. Like having given Yato a bit of a background kind of thing was really cool. Not entirely actually. Lots of the Nora stuff is canon. Okay. I also going into Nora stuff as well. She's got some kind of father figure in her life. She's like going to return to father kind of thing. So that's probably going to be pushed to season 2 about whoever the father is. You know, whatever some kind of grand ultimate plan to do whatever with Yato. Um, so we'll probably see Nora again, no doubt, in season 2. But that surprises me that he's a filler character. Cause yeah, like he was. I mean, he was just kind of a generic kind of like bad guy kind of thing. But like he fit the god powers kind of thing. He was the god of calamity, so he wanted to kill kind of thing. That was a thing. Like that was his thing. So it fit pretty well. Like I never sat there and was like that doesn't fit, or like, whatever. Like it fit really well for the character. Um, but yeah, that is interesting, odd, strange, but also very cool, interesting that they added a filler character to the show for whatever reason kind of thing. I think like a lot of people don't like filler things because they want it to be like exactly how like the manga visual novel whatever how it is written kind of thing. But I like filler a lot of filler, not every filler, but I do like a lot of filler because it seems like they're either adapting to the original story a little bit kind of thing to kind of just throw in a couple more cool things, or I think in some cases a couple of the shows that I've seen it was said that some of the filler was actually written by the original author, but just kind of thrown into the actual anime instead of the actual, the visual novel kind of stuff. And that kind of stuff, and like at that point, it wouldn't be filler. It's filler of the actual, the visual novel kind of stuff. But in terms of the anime kind of things, it doesn't really act as filler in that case because like the original author of both things is adding more information or more things to the actual show or whatever. So I don't know, stuff like that is interesting to me. But a lot of people hate it. I've seen comments. People hate filler. I don't mind some filler stuff, but when it gets entire arcs of it, like in Bleach, or the Celestial the Celestial arc in Fairy Tail, then we have a problem. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people didn't like the Celestial arc. I didn't find it too bad. Um, it was off here and there, a lot of plot holes. Um, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I can see why like entire arcs are bad. Like a character like you said like Rabo or whatever as a filler character, he served his purpose. Like I think as a filler character to give background to Yato, Yuki, and Hiyori's kind of like friendship kind of thing, to give background and like kind of insight to those characters is really good. Like kind of filler character. It's really cool. Example of good filler, the zombie episode. Oh my gosh. I remember seeing that and I was like, why would they make this? But yeah, I guess it was filler, huh? I forgot about that. So I think that's everything in these episodes. Did I miss anything or is there anything I need to talk about? Yeah, I burned it from my mind. Is there anything big that I've need to mention or talk about in these episodes? I feel like I covered all of it. Again, we're probably gonna after this be like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. It happens all the time. Um, like running through the episode in my head like a dozen times just to make sure I cover everything. Hmm. I don't know. Oh, her friend, Hiyori's friend, the one who wanted to like just dish out like 10,000 yen or something like that to like have like an ultimate penultimate like wish to be popular and everything. I wonder if that is gonna be pushed like down the line of like she is gonna become popular over time kind of thing because that's one thing that we haven't really seen in the show is when people suggest wishes to gods other than Yato, because we've seen Yato actually do the wishes kind of thing, but to the actual higher up gods and everything, like the old man and so on and so forth. I'm interested to see if they actually carry out their wishes and help them out and everything. So it'll be kind of cool to see if that one girl actually becomes popular in school because of this kind of thing. I don't know. It'd be cool. Let's see. Sorry. Those wolf things they attacked. Hybrid mask. Controlled by no. That is true. I'm not sure. Again, I think it's to do, like, going back to the whole name thing. Like, when Rabo was carrying her, she's a sword that can do water damage, water attacks, something like that. So, if every name gives you a different like skin, a theme, weapon, so on and so forth, maybe one of her other names does that with the masks or kind of thing. Like creating masks and then just throwing them onto phantoms, like controlling phantoms. But I mean, I guess I'm not sure if they were they phantoms? Like, was that confirmed? Like those dogs were phantoms or wolves or whatever? Because when the light hit them, they burnt up like immediately. But then like we cut to like Yato, who's like fighting these giant scorpions, and like they don't really care about the light too much. So maybe just like lesser phantoms are like burnt up by like the sun kind of thing. But like the bigger ones that like the scorpions and so on and so forth, those they don't care. Like they have a hard shell or so on and so forth to fight in the daytime. Kind of like my rationalizing it. Maybe filler phantoms can. That's fine. But I'm assuming it's something to do either with Rabo. Maybe Rabo made the masks to do it, kind of thing. Maybe Nora made the masks. Maybe the masks are just kind of like something that she knows how to do to control phantoms. Maybe the father figure of Nora does something like that. I mean, there's tons of things. I don't know. Well, like I said, we'll probably see Nora in season 2. We're probably going to get a lot of background and so on and so forth with her, and other characters, of course. We're probably going to see Bisha again. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm pumped. It's gonna be cool to see what's gonna happen in season 2. But yeah, overall, season 1 was awesome. I liked it a lot. It was really cool. So I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in season 2 from here on out, basically. Yep, season 2 hype. So yeah, with all of that said and done, if there is anything that I missed and you would like to mention it, what was your favorite bit of season 1, and so on and so forth, leave those comments down below in the comments below of this video, and I will look them over and reply when I have time, if I have time. Sometimes I always just read comments and forget to reply sometimes, so my bad. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week for the first 3 episodes of season 2. Take care, everybody.